Hello guys, we're here at Moore Farm in Derbyshire. We've got Callum there.
Hello.
And we are here at the 3-hour Falconary Experience. So there's the manor farm at the back there. Probably be in a field somewhere, surrounded by fields. So yeah, stay tuned.
They're not expecting will frighten them. Some things to watch out for on days like this, because the wind is things like your chairs blowing over, or a coat sat on something blowing off. That can scare them. Obviously, if you're taking photos or videos, feel free to, by the way, you're more than welcome to. But just make sure camera flashes are turned off, and don't go shoving a camera or phone into a bird's face too close. Respect them. But just keep it in mind, loud noises, and sudden movements are scary for them. So just keep it kind of in the back of your mind. Another thing that you've got to remember here is, as tempting as I know it is, I'm afraid you're not allowed to touch or stroke or pet or hug or kiss any birds. And that is for the bird's sake. It's because they only get one set of feathers per year, and if we damage them, that's it. They're stuck with those feathers. They can't just grow another feather. Things like the oil, sweat and sun cream that you've got on human skin, it's really bad for them. It builds up over time, they can't wash it off, and they're not just meeting you guys, one or two at the end of the world, is that they meet thousands of people every year, and if everyone is touching and stroking, it's just not fair. So, imagine you can't have a shower or change your clothes for an entire year. The last thing you want is every single person you ever meet to be touching your clothes. It's disgusting. So keep your hands to yourselves, no touching, no stroking. Now, last rule, which is actually one that is for your safety rather than birds, is that you must wear one of these gloves if you want to have a go doing anything with any birds. The birds aren't aggressive, they're not going to try and hurt you, you don't need to be scared of them, but they are birds of prey, they're raptors. Does anyone know what the definition of a bird of prey is? What makes a bird of prey a bird of prey? They are, yeah, so they're predatory birds, they're carnivores, but there are some birds out there that are carnivorous and predatory birds that don't fall into bird of prey category. Things like, for example, herons. Herons will catch small mammals, small fish, small birds. They're definitely carnivorous, predatory birds, but they're not a bird of prey.
Do they kill with the feet?
The feet, yes, that is the main sort of thing. So the definition of a bird of prey is something that catches other living things using 8 talons. They all have 8 sharp talons. They are razor sharp. Anyone with cats or who's petted cats or had cat scratches before, that's the sort of level of sharpness we're talking about. The difference is they are out constantly. So when they're sat on your hand, you've got to wear the gloves so that they don't accidentally scratch you. It might seem a little bit overkill for most of them, but trust me, you'd prefer having this there than your bare skin. When they're sat on your hand, they need to hold themselves upright. That's what the glove's there for, giving them something to grip and squeeze without you feeling it. Now, the glove is going to go onto your left hand. All you need to do is keep your hand flat, steady and still, out in front of you. Imagine you are holding a glass of whatever your favourite drink is, and it is full to the very brim, and you don't want to spill it. So no twisting or shaking, moving. You want to keep that hand perfectly steady and still at all times. Inside the glove, your hand is this way around, so palm to the side, it's not up or down. You want to avoid that this way around. That's what you're going for. You're going to start with your fingers in this position here. It's called safety. Bottom 2 shut, top 2 open, thumb out to the side. Kind of like the gun shape, but instead of your thumb sticking up, it's more relaxed out to the side, just like this. Now, once I've put the bird onto your hand, I'll then ask you to close your fingers into a fist. So you start like this, and then when I say to close, literally just squeeze those fingers shut, kind of keeping the thumb on top. That's where most of the birds will be sitting, on the thumb sort of wrist area. So open, close. Just make sure you're keeping that hand as steady and still as you want. Going back to the whole camera thing, obviously if you're here with people, friends or family or whatever, they are more than welcome to take photos of you holding the birds. I can't make a bird turn around to face a specific direction. So whoever has the camera has to do all the moving. If you're stood with a bird and the bird's looking that way, the person with the camera has to go stand over there. They will face wherever they want to face. They'll usually face it off the wind and the sun and whatnot. If you try turning around with a bird on your hand, they'll just turn back around to face the way that they want to face. It's not going to get you anywhere. Just stay still, the camera does the moving. Pre-warning, they're really good at looking away exactly as you take a photo. There's a high chance that if you're on camera duty, you're going to be looking away. The other thing just to watch out for here and be cautious of is when there is a bird sat on your hand, don't hold them too close to you. The main reason being they will go to toilet whenever they want to. They don't care if it's all over your leg or your foot in the process. So just give them some space. Don't hold them directly over anything that you care about. Other thing to watch out for is of course your chairs and your coats and whatnot on the floor. Just make sure the space under the birds is clear. It happens a lot. Now that is pretty much it for all of the warnings and rules and do's and don'ts.
Catching a